Kelly has an eating disorder?
Yeah.
She always eats my lunch.
Anorexia. She's in the anorexic.
We should do something.
Nothing can be done. Just have to tell everybody and hope for the best, I guess.
Fuck the skinny bitches. Fuck the skinny bitches in the.
What is poppin', y'all? I don't know. The more I play with it, the worse it's getting. I'm gonna just leave it. I've served all kinds of looks on this channel, so it be what it be. And my hair is not the reason we're here. What is poppin', y'all? My name is Happy Black Legends. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So I am super excited to film this video. It's an idea I've had for like a week now, and I've done a lot of research and a lot of preparing for this video. So I really hope you guys like it. I'm super excited. I'm gonna rank eating disorder characters. We have 5 categories. At the top, it's Skinny Legend. At the bottom, or the next one, it's Coke Zero with con limon. That is my new favorite thing to do, is to cut up half the lime and squeeze that shit in a Coke Zero. So freaking good. Coke Zero is better than Diet Coke. Fight me, that is a hill I am willing to die on. And then for neutral, we have cold black coffee, just kind of like it's alright. And then yellow, we have malnourished clown, and then the last one is pro Anna Fool. So I have about 19 or 20 different characters from various shows and movies, and we're about to spill the tea on how accurate eating disorders are portrayed in media, film, and TV included. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with probably one of the most iconic characters of all time, and that is Miss Cassie. Miss Cassie, I cannot remember. I haven't seen that show in so long. I'm gonna just fair warning right now. If I don't remember the characters' names, I'm gonna call them something, adjective, and bitch. I really don't give a fuck, okay? No, just kidding. I give a fuck. But I'll include their names here for, like, accuracy. But Miss Cassie Ainsworth from the UK Skins, frickin'. Let's talk about this bitch. First of all, Miss Lovely, I didn't eat for 3 days so I could be lovely. Oh wow. Really? Oh. I know, like, I saw Cassie hate on Twitter, and like, I get it, but at the same time, I don't know, I have a sweet spot for her. I love bimbos, okay? There's something about bimbos. I think allow people to be cute and happy and just let them live their lives. Like, so I liked her as a character. Growing up, when there was a character with an eating disorder in a show, I really didn't care. Like, I have one of the Glee bitches on here, and we're gonna talk about Glee, because Glee really fucked up. But anyways, so I never watched Skins growing up, and then once when I first was anorexic, before I admitted, like, this is so dumb. I used to look up eating disorder on Netflix, and I'd watch, like, all those movies and different shows. But no, I didn't have an eating disorder. I was just dieting. Like, you dumb bitch. But anyways, so she was the first, like, character I'd ever watched with the eating disorder. I thought she was portrayed in a pretty decent way. I'm triggered so much by real life that I find eating disorder movies and TV shows rarely to be hella triggering, honestly. So personally, I really liked her. That scene with the hamburger, oh my god, that scene always makes me cry. I love that scene. So Miss Cassie's definitely a skinny legend. Like, we been knew that. This ain't even news, alright? So then we have the next character, her name's Nancy, and she's from this 1980s or 1990s movie called For the Love of Nancy. Again, a lot of eating disorder movies I've only seen in the past, like, week. Like, I've literally spent the past week, like, consuming as much eating disorder content as possible for this video specifically. So that was my first time watching For the Love of Nancy. Personally, I liked her. I didn't have any baggage with her or anything. One really cool thing about the movie was that the actress playing Nancy, her name something with a T, I cannot remember, she had anorexia and she was recovering. So they had to film the movie backwards. So they started off with her looking all emaciated, and then they ended it with her looking, you know, healthy and whatever. So kudos to that actress for being able to do that. Personally, I don't think I could do that, honestly, if I was trying to recover. I don't think I could play, like, I mean, it would really depend. And you know, a lot of movies, they have to have psychologists and therapists on set, so hopefully she had, you know, ample help, and, you know. But I'm gonna put her as cold black coffee. I don't know. My favorite scene was when she came was when she came out in the black dress and she was like, "Hi guys," and everyone's looking at her like, "You look fucking nasty." Like, because I get that reaction sometimes because I've mentioned this before, but my entire life I've been pretty much overweight. I've been fat. So when people see me then they haven't seen me in a really long time, it's super awkward and uncomfortable, and like they always ask me like, "How'd you do it?" You know, and I'm always just like, drink water, eat vegetables, blah. So it's like so super awkward. But moving on to the next character. Next we have Miss Daisy from Girl Interrupted. Miss, it's the end of the world. Okay, first of all, I saw Girl Interrupted for the first time a few days ago. I love Winona Ryder. I like Angelina Jolie. I thought that was probably some of her best acting, period. Anyways, we're talking about Miss Daisy. First of all, I fucking loved her hair. Classy, classy. She is so gorgeous. I thought she was so pretty and cute. I loved her monologue, when she's like, "My daddy loves me." Like, I loved that and everything. I was so bummed. Oh, this video is, like, obviously gonna contain spoilers. I didn't say that at the beginning, but anyways. Yeah, so I loved it. I was devastated when she was dead. I was so pissed off. I was like, really, Daisy, you did not have to go out like that. But anyways, I really like Daisy. I'm going to put her at Coke Zero con Limon for sure. Alright, next we're going to go with probably another one of the most iconic eating disorder films ever. One of the very first movies I'd ever seen with a character with an eating disorder, and that is To the Bone. We're going to be looking at Luke and Eli. First of all, I'm really neutral about this movie. A lot of people have strong feelings about it. Some people with eating disorders really, really love it. Others really fucking hate it. The only thing that I felt strongly about was Luke and Eli's relationship was crusty, and I could have done without that, and Keanu can get that. I fucking want him to cure my eating disorder, please. So those were the only two takeaways I personally have from that movie. The whole, like, mothering, breastfeeding scene, that was, like, that made me feel really uncomfortable, but, like, I understood the purpose, but I was also, like, honestly, did we, like, need this today? Was this necessary? This was a choice y'all decided to make, but was it necessary, boo-boo? I really don't know. Personally, I'm probably gonna have to put Eli at cold black coffee. She just, I don't know, like, I honestly don't, I didn't really care for the movie. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it. I didn't like it. I just kind of didn't care. So for me, I did not think she was iconic in any way. I thought she was kind of annoying. The suck my skinny balls, that was funny. But other than that, like, she kind of got on my nerves. And, like, the whole relationship with her and Luke, like, totally pulled me out of it. So Luke, on the other hand, I like Luke, and I think it's really great. You know, we need more male representation of eating disorders. Anyone can have an eating disorder, no matter gender, color, size, whatever you got working with. You can have an eating disorder. It really doesn't matter where you come from. So I love that for him. I love that for us. But he was hella annoying. Like, hella annoying. And I don't know. I'm thinking maybe malnourished clown is where he deserves to be. Is that rude? I don't know. We're going to put him there just because. Next, we have one of the most iconic, in my opinion, the most iconic character of all to ever have an eating disorder, and that is Miss Angela from the Binge series. First of all, the creator of this show is the main actress. She plays the main character. She also wrote the show, and she went through this eating disorder herself. One thing I love so much about binge is that it's not depressing. Like, eating disorder movies are so depressing and cheesy sometimes. And, like, I get it, because eating disorders are hella fucking depressing. But binge is able to find this sort of, like, ridiculousness moments of it. And I think that's because Angela herself went through a disorder. So, duh, she's gonna know how to write for it. Another thing I love is that she's an adult. She's not in college. She's not in high school. She's an adult. She has a career and everything. Another thing I love is that they show how eating disorders can also manifest into other self-destructive behaviors. There are a lot of drug addicts and alcoholics who have eating disorders and vice versa. I mean, it's the same thing, essentially what I just said. But the reason for that is because if you don't fix what's going on inside of you, you're going to find any way to cope, whether that's starving, drinking, smoking, whatever you do, you're going to find it. So I loved that show. I first watched it like when I when it first I don't even remember. I absolutely love that show. I hope they get renewed. Like, let's pray that they release more episodes. Definitely recommend it, y'all. I will link down below some of these movies you can find on YouTube, and I'll link down my playlist of movies that you can watch on YouTube, so I'll link that down below for you. There's the show, and then there's a prequel episode, and then there's a ton of interviews with Angela. She's an amazing, amazing woman. I love listening to her talk about her story. Definitely recommend it. She's going at the top. She's a skinny legend, period. I love her. She's so funny. In fact, in my opinion, personally, I love Cassie, but she's definitely, like, at the top of the pyramid, in my personal opinion. Next, we have Miss Ballerina Bitch, Natalie Portman. I cannot remember her name. It's something with an N, I think. I really don't care. I really don't know. My mom is a filmmaker. My mom went to school. She went to NYU for film. My mom loves theater. So we always have had, like, DVDs, and I would watch my mom watch movies, but I wouldn't really be watching it because I was really young. So I remember seeing, like, a DVD of The Black Swan, and I remember my mom watching it. And I always thought it was about ballerinas. I didn't even know that it was about eating disorders. Or it's not really about eating disorders, but I didn't even know that Natalie Portman's character had an eating disorder until like 2 weeks ago. And one thing that I really wasn't prepared for was the fact that it was a thriller. I know it says that, but like I was like, bitch, where? It's a dancing. Like I don't know. I just really wasn't prepared. And honestly, that movie, like, okay. It was a really great movie, period. But it was also extremely challenging to watch. I can handle horror, I can handle thriller, but body horror, that shit freaks me out. And so, like, when she, like, her picking at her skin, because I do that, I could not. Like, that scene where she ripped off her skin off her finger, literally so gross. Like, I could not. I honestly, that's, like, Black Swan is a movie that I probably can only watch every 5 years, like, because it was, like, I went to bed, like, and I was just like, bro, like, I need to cleanse my spirit. It's a great film. And people, like, online, I really liked seeing all these, like, let's figure out what the meaning, bitch, she was malnourished. A lot of people don't know this, but starving yourself can cause extreme psychosis and can cause all sorts of crazy things to happen. Personally, for me, if I don't eat for too long, I'll start to hear things. And I'm not trying to be funny. This is not a joke. I'm being 100% dead ass. I start to hear things. I don't see things, but I'll start, like, hearing things. I start to feel really, like, just paranoid and agitated. So my theory personally is that the bitch was just extremely malnourished, and that's why she was seeing all that shit. That's me, honestly. But I loved it. I really liked it. And on another basis, I related to her somewhat as a performer that strive for perfection, always wanting to go push yourself past your limit for your craft. I really related to her. She is definitely a skinny legend. Like, we've been new. But yeah, I was, like, really into it. Okay, next we have Miss Kate from Kate's Secret, which is an old, well, it's not old, I mean, I don't know. It's from the 80s, I think early 90s. It's from a movie called Kate's Secret about a suburban mother who is secretly struggling with bulimia. I was hella excited to start this because the first thing that caught my eye was her hair in the poster. I was like, yes, like, let's get that time period. Let's get that classic nostalgia vibes. And I cannot get past, I think I watched maybe 15 minutes of it. Kate was honestly such a bitch. She constantly kept talking about her daughter's weight, and that was like the biggest, like I could, like, you're passing down your own issues to some unsuspecting person. Like, fuck you. And that's why so many people have eating disorders. And I see so many people online saying things like, my dad said this about my body when I was 6, and my mom used to say this, and this used to happen. Like, honestly, fuck off. If you're a parent, you need to really be mindful of how you communicate to your children about food and body image, because you could very well be giving your child, like, a serious issue. So that was my biggest issue. She is a pro and a fool. I did not care. And I was really bummed because I was really looking forward to watching it. But she made like 3 comments about her daughter's food portions and her size. And I don't even think her daughter was 5 yet. I was just like so disgusted. And I get it. She has an eating disorder. Most people with eating disorders, we think some of the nastiest things about ourselves and about other people sometimes. But the difference is how you react to that. I would never say anything like she said about her daughter out loud about anyone. I might have that thought and then immediately I go, fuck that thought. That's a disgusting thought. But the fact that she said it out loud to me, I was like, okay, I no longer care what happens to you. You're on your own. You need some electrolytes, you crazy ass bitch. That was my opinion. Next, we have Marie from The Road Within. The Road Within is currently on YouTube for free. I was shook. I watched the whole thing. I wanted to see it for years. This movie isn't about her, so when it came to eating disorder perceptions, I thought they did a fairly decent job. I liked her. Just, again, I don't know. I'm the kind of person, like, relationships in movies sometimes are so unnecessary, and it really makes it hard for me to want to keep watching the movie when I feel like just this is gross. And when they were having sex and he said I love you, I literally had to, like, I paused my phone, like I threw it and I just ran because it was so cringy and uncomfortable. And I was like, oh my god, like that is so uncomfortable. But the movie overall was really cute. Personally, I'm gonna give her Coke Zero con Limon because she was cool. I mean, literally the only black character ever in the history of things that I can think of with an eating disorder in a movie, besides that other thick mama from To the Bone, but I don't even remember, like, did she even get a name? I don't even know. So, for that reason and that reason alone, she goes in the Coke Zero con Limon. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I liked her. I didn't hate her. But I loved when she was smoking and she's like, it makes everything feel better. Like, that was really funny in my opinion. Next, we have Miss Thang from When Friendship Kills. I cannot remember her name. I think it's Jen. When Friendship Kills was one of the first eating disorder movies that was recommended to me that I have never even heard of. I watched it. Literally amazing. Top 5 eating disorder movies for sure. It portrayed them so perfectly. I loved that she relapsed. That I thought was so important to show. I was not expecting Miss Other Girl Boo Thang to die. Like, that was a shock to the system. I was, like, blown away. I thought it was a really, really great movie. I'm definitely going to put her as Skinny Legend, and then her friend is going to go as Malnourished Clown. Anyone that teaches anyone how to purge deserves instant death, in my opinion. You literally suck. You are a piece of trash. Piece of trash. You suck. Alright, moving on. Next movie from the 80s and 90s, Perfect Body. I think it's also called The Price of a Perfect Body. I don't know. My phone is in French, and it sometimes, like, when I look up a movie, it'll show me, like, 3 different titles, and it's just, I don't always know the name of the movie. I loved this movie. Definitely top 5 for sure. I really relate to that control aspect of an eating disorder, that perfection aspect of an eating disorder. So when that side is portrayed in film and media, I really relate to it. So I'm going to put Miss Gymnast Bitch at the top. Let's go, you queen. So she is a skinty legend. And then her dumbass friend that taught her how to purge. I liked her. That's the thing that sucks. I actually liked her. But she definitely doesn't even deserve to be on Nurse Clown because she was kind of rude. Next, we have Thinspiration / Starving in Suburbia. I have heard so much shit about this movie for years, and I've never watched it, and I finally watched it. At first, like, I could not take it seriously. Like,
emptiness is pure, starvation is the cure.
like, I literally screamed when she said that. I laughed so hard. Like, Mom, I am no fan of Anna. Like, could you imagine me telling that to my fucking therapist or my dietitian? Like, the next time I go, I'm honestly gonna look them dead ass in the eye and be like, y'all don't have to worry about me. I am no fan of Anna. Like, that is so cheesy. And, like, to be fair, I have seen some of the cheesiest shit on Tumblr, so I understood, like, what they were trying to go for, but at the same time, it was just like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, eat some bread and shut up. Like, I could not. I really could not. Like, but at the end, when her brother Leo, when he died, first of all, let's put him at the top. He is definitely a skinny legend, by far. I loved him. I loved that they showed how boys can go through eating disorders. That was, like, the biggest plot twist ever. That instance was the only reason I even remotely appreciated the movie. Had that not happened, had it not gone in that direction, I still probably wouldn't have been able to watch it because I literally could not handle it. Like, I thought she was so ridiculous. She's definitely going down at pro Anna Fool. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, on one hand, like, I obviously have an eating disorder, so I understand what it's like. And I've been in really dark places where you think, like, really dumb. You just think like a dumbass, honestly, sometimes. But she was just so annoying and irritating, and I could not handle her. So she's definitely going, for me, personally, pro Anna Fool. Alright. So next, I'm gonna talk about Glee.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
So growing up, I was a Gleek, whatever they were called. I wasn't really allowed to watch Glee, so I had to kind of secretly watch it. I watched it at a friend's house. I had a friend who gave me, like, all of the DVDs and everything, so I watched, like, the whole thing over again when I got older in high school. But I loved Glee. When Corey Monteith died, I was 13. I remember that day perfectly. I was devastated. I really loved Glee. So when the only thing I remembered ever about an eating disorder and Glee was that episode where Rachel was trying to throw up in the bathroom and that redhead, like, OCD, like, therapist lady caught her. And that scene, before I had an eating disorder, made me laugh. Now that I have an eating disorder, it actually makes me laugh even harder. Glee really handled eating disorders extremely poorly, in my opinion. There was another instance with Mercedes where she starved herself to try to, be a Cheerio or whatever. Yeah, they handled a lot of situations like ass. And I know that now as an adult person. However, as a kid, Glee was simply iconic. Like, let's face the music. Let's be real here. So let's talk about Marley. So I did not even remember this bitch. Because it's been years since I've watched Glee. And, like, I had completely forgotten about what happened after Corey died. It was really hard for me to watch. So, but I did, after I saw it again, I was like, oh my god, now I remember. And the first time, I don't remember how old I was when I first saw those episodes with Marley, but honestly, I really don't, like, remember caring. I just thought it was a plot point. But now that I have an eating disorder and I watched her scenes over again, they ought to be ashamed of that themselves. That shit was disgusting. That little blonde Quinn 2.0 cheap ass, like, remix, that Kitty whatever, fuck her. Like, are you Anna or Mia? Like, shut up. Like, no one talks like that in real life. Like that's just online talk. I have never, ever had a conversation with someone who has an eating disorder and they're like, I'm Anna. Like, no one fucking talks like that. So I was just like, this is cringe as is. But just the way they handled her, I felt so fucking bad for her. On the one hand, at the time, like when it came out, like it was an iconic show. It was one of the only shows with like gay characters at the time. I mean, and I'm a theater kid, so it was up my alley for sure. But they really fucked a lot of shit up, like dead ass. So for Marley, I think I'm gonna put her at Coke Zero con limon because no, I'm gonna put her at cold black coffee. She's sweet, but I don't know. I didn't really care. She's not really memorable. Oops. Anyways, all right. We only have 2 bitches left. So we have Miss Emma from Red Band Society. I watched most of Red Band Society yesterday. I started it yesterday at like 3 a.m. and I got to episode 9, and honestly, I couldn't take it anymore. When the show came out, I was a teenager who was in and out of mental hospitals at the time, so I didn't want to watch it. The whole all of the relationships on that show were extremely uncomfortable and weird. And the characters were likable, but like I liked where they were going at first. I think what happened with that show was because they didn't know if they were going to be canceled and because they weren't really given a fair chance, I feel like the writers had to constantly scramble. So I think that's the issue with the show. But personally, we're going to focus on Emma. Now, I think she portrayed eating disorders in a very accurate way. That whole restaurant scene was very real, very raw for me personally. I hate going out to eat at restaurants. Whenever I go out with my friends, it's very challenging. I've had panic attacks in restaurants. I've like just sat there it's not a win. What people don't realize is like it's a lose-lose no matter what. If they have calories on the menu, I'm freaking out because they're more than likely extremely high. If they don't have calories on the menu, I have no idea what's going on. I have a lot of food intolerances and things that I can't eat. Then there are foods that I'm not allergic to, but they make me feel sick if I eat them. And then I'm not going to ask my waiter to like, oh, can you make sure they use less oil, that they cook it on a separate part, that they don't do this, they take that out. I'm not going to do all that. It's just kind of a lose-lose. So I really related to her sitting up in that restaurant feeling uncomfortable as fuck. I watched that like Emma, you and me both. I did not finish the show because I really could not take it anymore. When they made whatever his name is, Georgia, I really don't remember his name. When they made him a drug dealer, I was like, I'm done. Like, fuck y'all, I can't handle it anymore. So I just read the rest of what happened. I really liked Emma as a person and a character. I thought she was, again, I really relate to when they show characters that have like a need for perfection. I really relate to that aspect. So for that reason, I'm gonna put Emma as Coke Zero con limon for sure. Because I did like her. And I think that the language that they used when describing eating disorders were very, very good. I wish they would have gone a lot deeper because she would always say, oh, it's not like that. It's very hard to explain. And it is hard to explain, but I think at the same time there are ways you can explain it. And I'm speaking from personal experience with me and my friends. So that's my only little thing, but I liked her. And then the last bitch we have is Miss Olivia, whatever, from Feed. I started Feed yesterday. I watched about a third of it. I could not finish it. That incest aspect of it was literally so, like, I cannot handle incest. And I feel like that's a normal thing to not like. I cannot fucking handle it. I was so uncomfortable. Like, when she called out her brother's name when she was having sex, I literally paused and I just X'd out of the illegal website I was using to watch the movie. I was like, I honestly can't take it anymore. So personally, for me, the movie itself, had they left that aspect out, I honestly would have loved it. The way that they used her brother's death, because eating disorders like, they're not just about being skinny. They're not just about body image. It can literally be about trauma and control. And for me, that's what it's about. So her punishing herself for her brother's death was a very realistic reaction to developing anorexia or any kind of eating disorder. And I didn't finish the movie, but I read what happened at the end, and I love the fact that she still saw her brother at the end, because the truth is, for many recovering anorexics and bulimics and whoever's, you might struggle for the rest of your life, and that's a really shitty sentence. However, it's about not giving in to your eating disorder. It's about, you know, constantly fighting and saying no. It's hard. I'm not trying to sit here and say like it's an easy battle. I'm gonna put Olivia. I feel like Coke Zero con limos. I mean, let me take a look at my list. Yeah, I'm liking the list. And that is it, y'all. Wow. All this research and my child is finally born. So out of all of these characters, the baddest bitch simply is Angela from the TV show Binge. Definitely check it out. Like I said, I will link that down below. A lot of these movies, like I said earlier, they are in a playlist that I will also link down below for you to watch. So go ahead and do that. I really think you should give Binge a chance. Check it out. Like I said, it's made by someone with an eating disorder, so it feels very accurate. Drake Bell is also in the prequel, which is really hilarious to see him in it. So I definitely would recommend that show. What did y'all think? Did y'all agree with my rankings? Did you like my ranking videos? Is my hair musty? Is it cute? Let me know. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank y'all for supporting this channel, for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for DMing me, for retweeting, for whatever you do and show support. Thank you. Like, I am so happy with the way the channel is going, and I just love creating content for you guys. And it's really nice because for years, for like 2 years after high school, I felt like my creative outlet was taken away because I was no longer doing theater. And YouTube is really giving that back to me. And the really great thing about YouTube is I can talk about whatever the fuck I want, anything that interests me, anything that I love, and it's just been such a fun journey. I thanked you guys for 200 subs in like my a video ago, and now I'm almost at 250. Like that blows me away. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. As always, there are eating disorder resources in the description down below, so check that out. Y'all stay safe, eat a burger, drink some water, and love yourself, alright? I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your days. Alright, y'all. Bye.